Alright, so today I'm going to talk about the infrared Jade mat. This guy right here. So this has 180 Jane stoves on it, and it heats up and provides infrared heat. This thing is really great to stretch on. It's good to, lay on if you're receiving some body work. It's something that I've had for several years now, and I really love this thing. You could get them on Amazon or other places. They're similar to the ones that are like rolls almost, and there's crystals inside of the mat. This one here is, pretty thin. You can see it's not that big. And I think the way that it works is that these orange things on here are the orange like threading is copper wire, I believe, or copper like thread, and I believe that's conductive, and that's what the heats up somehow and causes the jade stones to heat up and provide that infrared heat. So it goes up to 55 degrees Celsius, and I think the lowest it has a setting for is 30 degrees Celsius. I like to have this thing on while I sleep, and I'll usually put it by my feet. So I'll have my feet on this, so it'll be horizontal, and I'll be vertical laying on it, and that keeps my feet warm at nighttime, especially in the colder months. When it's warmer in the summer, I don't really use it all that much. It's usually put away in a closet or storage, but when it gets cold out, then I'm really using this a lot. So you gotta turn this on like this, you got an on switch, and then you got a few different settings on this one in particular. This one's 12 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours, and then it turns off, and you got a little dial here. And so you can see you set up to 55, and then it'll blink at whatever it's at. So it's only at 7 degrees Celsius right now. So yeah, it's just, one cord, and then the cord comes in right here. Stretching on this versus just stretching on the ground is just really big difference. And I have it up on top of this other mat right here, and this mat has a little bit of cushion, so then you have this on it, and it's really nice. However, you don't really want to lay on it directly. I just have no sheet or cover on it right now, so that way you could see what it looks like. But I'll take like a blanket or a sheet or something like that, and I'll lay that on top, and it'll still get really hot, because otherwise it could end up, especially if you have it at 55 degrees, it could get really hot on here, and it can end up burning your legs or arms or whatever you have touching it. So you don't really want to be direct on. Okay, one last thing I wanted to say about this jadestone mat, infrared mat, is that it was advertised as a grounding mat. I don't know how true that actually is. I mean, technically it is going into the ground in the wall with the little prong underneath, and it does have the copper on here on the stones. So I mean, technically it should be conductive to some extent. I haven't tested that out, and I don't know if that's actually true or not. However, it would probably only work if you were actually touching that part of the mat. And since I like to have some sort of sheet over it or blanket on top, then that means I'm not going to be grounded while I'm doing that. So what I'll do is I'll usually pair it with another sheet. So this has a grounding thing here. This is a grounding sheet, and I will take this here, and this is plugged into a ground on the wall. Make sure that your outlet is actually a good running outlet. You don't want dirty electricity. And then I'll just go ahead and lay this out on top of the mat, or on top of whatever blanket that I'm using. And then so that way I am, for sure grounded while I'm using the mat. So yeah, I hope you find this video information, helpful. I don't really know the, science of exactly how it's working, other than it's infrared, and I love this thing.